And the video package we talked about a little bit today
The video
too.
package, the thing that started that the whole night, where
Mhm.
it went from basically the essence of it started as a carnival, and then man, they made that emphasis with Gorgeous George, and it became really like a staple of television and in everyone's home, and they just showed the progression of the business, and then they dropped that thing, and here's Paul, and they're on Netflix,
Yeah.
and it was just like that was, and I don't care if you're anybody um, that's ever been in the business and got a paycheck for bouncing around on that canvas, whether it was an enhancement guy, whatever it was, because I think every one of those bricks helped bring it to where it was that night, and you had to have some kind of pride of the fact, like, fuck yeah, man, like this is huge.
Yeah.
And then the next day to wake up and go, and we beat Squid Game. So,
Yeah, number 1 to Squid Game's number
oh,
2.
Bubba, to Squid Game to the arch.
Cause all of them. Steve Lombardi, Mario
Oh
Mancini.
man, it's
This is
just
your win.
damn right, man. It's that's fucking huge, and for Vince McMahon,
Yeah.
Vince isn't a part of it anymore, man. But
No, I listen. He built the empire. There's
damn
no
right he
question
did.
about that. And he has the palace to prove it. That is now the WWE, a massive, massive operation as compared to what he bought in 1983, doing TVs, two nights concurrently every 3 weeks at
But
Allentown and Hamburg and these.
I look at since Paul has got his hands, and I kind of count Paul as when NXT, when the Performance Center, when that whole concept of basically, and I've said it a million times, I know it's redundant, but for somebody that's out there on a nightly basis, working on his craft, working his way to the top of the card, and at the same time having the fucking thought pattern of, if this is a very specific thing that we do, to the point of not only do we need to teach the guys to work in the style that we want them to work moving forward, we need to teach the guys that shoot it, to give them a place to learn to shoot it the way we want it to shot, that we want the truck ran the way we want it to. So generation after generation after generation, we have new camera guys. We don't have a guy that's, you know, been on the handheld for 30 years, and he's gonna, it's like, well, can I have like 2 weeks off so I can get my lower lumbar fucking fused? No.
Right. It's the training ground for the entire operation, not
Right.
just. I mean, we talk about NXT as the young guys in the ring, but you're absolutely right. That's the place to go to learn their brand of production. You got to make the Big Mac if you work at
Yeah.
McDonald's, and you got to shoot a certain way. Production has to look a certain way
I
if
mean,
you
and
work
there's
WWE. That's correct.
there's people that'll say that, it's overproduced, or it's this or it's that, and I'd rather watch AEW because I like the rawness of it. And, I mean, that's great too. I mean, I'm so glad that there's AEW, because I have friends there that are still, they're paying their bills with that check.
Yeah. I'm glad when I sit on the bowl. Britt, do you think The Rock and Roman's schedule are causing the Bloodline storyline to become a bit stagnant and stale at the moment?
It's funny because a lot of people say, like, that thing's been going on for a long time, that bloodline.
Yes.
Um,
It never excited me, to be honest with
yeah, I think that, the fact that Roman's the tribal chief is, I mean, that's where it should be. Um, I I don't know. I thought the War Games thing was like I thought was that may be, it's just hard to come back with that. Like for Roman to fight Solo on the first Netflix and get a hold of to become the tribal chief. I think that's was a good move.
To further illustrate, whoever you referenced before, I forget, that said wrestling is kind of like no other, like nothing else in the world. How many other sports or forms of entertainment can you use that sentence where so and so is the tribal chief, and that's the way it
Right.
should be, illustrating that point perfectly.
Yeah, absolutely a different
Kareem
different
Abdul-Jabbar, the tribal chief. You never heard that on a call.
no.
Who else we got in the house here?